Hi everyone. So I've been a bit of a mess this week. I have been present and then not. And maybe no one noticed because you have lives too, right? I noticed because it's my life, but maybe it's no one noticed, which would be good. I just thought I've been saying this a few times to a few people, so I thought I would share it out here because there might be some people who are in my circle who need to hear this as much as I do. So this is me talking to myself as much as sharing with you. Some of you might know I was really, really ill about time flies by. It's 3 weeks now. I think it's 3 weeks, if not slightly more. So I was hospitalized with influenza, which mucked about with my heart. So I think it's called myocarditis. It was pretty severe. 5 nights in the ICU, 2 nights in the cardio ward. I came home. I was really old and slow, but I am recovering and getting there again. So this video, the sharing, is because I wanted to just share a little about what it's been like for me since getting out of the hospital. Thank you, first and foremost, for caring. A lot of you have sent me messages to ask how I am. There's been a lot of prayers. Church life group has been great. A lot of offers of meals and offers to help, and some of you have taken the kids on play dates and just kept them occupied. I just want to thank you all so much. Every bit of love and generosity has been very appreciated. My family and I have felt really loved. We still feel really loved. So thank you for all the support, the prayers, and the help and the offers for help. We can't thank you enough. We've been very blessed. So thank you again. Much appreciated. A lot of people have asked how I am. I think that's the main question I get whenever I speak to somebody or, see somebody. They go, how are you? Are you recovering? Are you back? And the answer to that is quite complicated, right? Life is complex. So I thought I'll record this because this is a reminder for me, as well as, to let you know, because I don't know if I have the capacity to repeat and tell the story a few times. So here goes. Physically, I'm recovered. The hospital, the medical system does a good job, so I'm recovered. I have a follow-up x-ray in a few weeks. I think it was the first week of September. I am going to be booked in for a follow-up appointment with the cardiologist and have an echocardiogram done as well to see if there are any lasting effects on my heart. So fingers crossed, God willing, there will be no permanent effects, hopefully. So physically I'm fixed. I am still a bit slow. Walking for more than 10 minutes makes me pant, which is not usual because I'm the kind of person who goes to the gym, so it's not normal for me. It will take me a while to get back into it, but I'm taking walks on the days where it's nice and sunny, so I will get there. So physically I'm good. Where I'm still needing some time is, I think, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And this is going to be a bit hard, so I might cry. So bear with me. I feel a bit broken still, and a bit of a mess. So there was, I don't even know where to start, but I'll do my very best, okay? There was a point in the hospital where I came really close to dying, right? And I'm just gonna come out and say it. I don't understand why some people, I think I get it. Like, you don't say bad things, they're almost taboo, right? Like, you don't talk about it. So rather than saying almost dying, people say keeping you alive. Even the doctors did it. Like, they said we're doing everything to keep you alive versus we're doing everything to prevent you from dying. It's just this taboo thing. Like, you don't say the word death or dying because it's almost a superstition where if you say it, like, it will happen. But I've come really close now, and I think there is something about just facing it and saying what we mean. So I am going to talk about death and dying in a not too miserable kind of doom and gloom way. So hopefully it's not like too depressing. Okay, right. So back to, I digress. Back to what I was talking about. There was a point in the hospital where I was really close to dying. And things were pretty painful. Like, I was given and I knew it was serious because they gave me this magic button. So after I had all my, my IV line put in, they gave me a button. They told me it was for IV infusions of morphine, so painkiller, and I could just press it whenever I wanted. There was a 5-minute timeout, but I could press the button every 5 minutes, and that would give me an infusion of morphine. It was the magic button, right? Like, I was on the good stuff. So there was a point before this magic button was given to me, before I had the IV line, where they were, prodding me with needles and stuff to look for my veins. Things were pretty painful. And it was pretty painful. And I think that was also when I was, things were touch and go. And I remember praying, and I remember telling God that, I'm quite happy to die now. Or, well, I didn't even say that. It's so funny because even then the word dying was taboo. I told God I think the actual words I thought and said was I'm ready to go now. I didn't even say, I didn't even use the word die. See, it's so strange. It's so entrenched in us. So I prayed that prayer, or said that, and I told God that. Now, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid of dying. I didn't fear it. I was quite at peace. And I just went, I'm ready. You can take me now. And I didn't. Spoiler alert, obviously, because I'm still here and I'm recording this video. But there are 2 reasons for why I feel like a mess and a bit broken. So the first is because, I didn't die. I'm still alive. This is so weird to say, because I know life is a gift, and there are a lot of things to be grateful for, like good food, and there's a lot of stuff to enjoy in life. But also, let's be honest, life is hard. Life is really hard. It's a lot of hard work, and granted, a lot of this hard work are due to choices that I made, right? So I'll give you an example. At the moment, the loves of my life and the bane of my existence are the same people, and that's my children. And it's a choice I made. not just me, Rod and myself, we chose to have children. But man, they're hard work. They're at the age where there's a lot of back chat and just temper tantrums and attitude, and they're hard work. I love them to bits, but they're hard work. And then there's the other choices that we've decided to make, bills to pay, mortgages, this, that, the other responsibilities. And I'm a life coach, so I know they're not responsibilities. There are things that create the opportunity and the ability for me to respond to them. But I choose to respond to them responsibly. So, I don't want to drop these balls because I've made commitments. And so, life is hard. So, because I didn't die, and because I didn't, God didn't choose to take me, I almost feel cheated. I was so close, yet so far. If you're a believer, you know that, I don't know book, chapter, and verse, but that verse, the Apostle Paul wrote it. It's one of the letters he wrote, and he says, how he'd much rather be with Jesus, but it's for your sake, it's better that I stay. I feel that way. I'm like, man, it was like I was so close to be with Jesus. So in a certain sense, life would be a lot easier if I was dead. It's such a paradox, but it's true. Well, I think it's true. To be fair, I don't really know because I've never died before. So I don't actually know what happens after death. But, based on my limited comprehension and understanding, life would be so much easier if I was dead, because then, there's no worries and no concerns, and because life is it's hard. So that's one of the reasons I'm a mess. And then the second reason I'm a mess is because half a second after I think that, I feel absolutely horrible and so guilty, because one of the things that they do in the hospital, the nurses, I was asked this question so many times. So as they asked this question, right, I remember thinking, oh, don't you have any other questions to ask? I'm so sick of answering this question. But every time a new nurse came, they would ask me these questions. And the question is, do you have kids? And if you do, how many kids do you have? How old are they? And then the questions go on from there, what are their names and all that. And I guess part of the reason they ask that is to check for responses, if I'm lucid, if I can respond. But I can't help but wonder if there's a psychology bit to it, because as a mother, one of the biggest loves of my life, apart from my husband, should be my children, right? Because I'm a mother. And so I don't know, maybe there is a part of your training where they ask you about your children to give you sort of, the will to live kind of thing, or something to fight for. I don't know. It's just speculation on my part. But I mean, it makes sense, right? So I think it is. And I feel so guilty and awful and terrible because I can't believe I considered life being better if I were dead, because I didn't think about my children at all. When I told God I was ready to go and even asked him to, please take me, I spared no thought for my husband or my kids. And man, I'm selfish. I am nowhere close to the Apostle Paul. like yeah, I just didn't have it in me. And of course, like there's always hindsight, and I can say, oh, but now that I know, would I do the same thing again? And I don't know what my answer is because I'm not in that situation. Talking about it when I'm sitting here healthy is very different from lying in a hospital bed, being in a whole heap of pain. Because it was very painful. It was very painful physically. So, two sides of the coin, right? Like I was ready to go. Life is hard. I feel cheated because I was so close, yet so far. And then half a second later, I feel awful because what about all the people that love me? Like I spared no thought whatsoever for them. So selfish. So selfish because when it came to it, all I could think about was myself. So that's my whole, yeah. I don't even know what the word is, but that's why I'm a mess. I am seeing a counselor for it. Uh, he says to go to the doctor because I may have depression, and he can't do it because he's not a doctor, so I have to go and get medically diagnosed. I don't know if I am depressed. I think it's just I just have a lot of emotion and stuff that I have to work through, and the process at the moment is quite painful. So there are some days where I wake up and I kind of shove them aside because, as in emotions, because I need to function. Like my husband's at work and I need to get the kids ready for school and be their mum, physically, even if I'm not there emotionally. So I push it aside, and like those days, I just survive. And then there are days like this where I pull it out, dust it off, and I kind of work through it because I know the only way out is by working through it. So, someone told me that, look, you just have to give it time, and time heals everything. And I agree, but also disagree because I don't think it's time that heals. I think God heals, but one of the tools that he uses is time. And so I'm a mess at the moment. God bless this mess. And so there will be days that I just survive, and then there will be days where I heal, like today. I just thought I'd record this and share this. It's been hard because it's raw, it's vulnerable, but maybe some of you can relate. Maybe not the exact same situation or experience, but maybe there's someone out there that needs to hear this as much as I do, and know that there's someone in the same situation going through same kind of thing, and know that you're not alone. So anyway, that's why I'm recording this. I'm also recording it so I don't forget in the future. If I go through anything like this again, I can come back and watch this and know that I was okay, that I am okay, and that I got through this. So yeah. I it will take time. I don't know how else to say it. And it's hard because it feels like the rest of the world or everyone else, like life goes on. Whereas for me, I feel a little bit sort of stuck in that point in time. Like I'm still in the hospital, even though I'm not anymore. Uh, so it's hard. But I think as I maybe share more and talk about it more and process more on the days that I feel that I can, one day I will wake up and realize that this isn't an issue anymore. Yeah. So I've gotten some advice on like don't feel selfish. Don't feel selfish because there's no need to. And I hear that and I accept that and I understand that, but it's not as simple as just don't do it. Because obviously I know my emotions are tied to my thoughts. But this is something that needs, like, God needs to sort it out because my heart isn't listening to me, if that makes sense. So it's not something I can do for myself, I think. So I pray that God will do it for me. It's not going to be a snap my finger and it'll be sorted. But I know He can change hearts. I know He can heal. I just have to be patient and wait. uh, it's not my strong point, but I'm learning. Maybe that's why some of this happened and maybe that's why I'm still here, because one of the things I remember thinking is, after thinking that life is easier if I'm dead, is like, what does God like, why did He keep me alive? What is it that He still has for me to do? Because I don't feel like a lot of what I do matters or has significance or can like change the world and all that. But I guess there is still something for me to do. There is still something He wants me to do, or He hopes that I would do with Him. And what I do matters. Maybe not in a change the world kind of way, but in a, one person at the time kind of way. And God thinks I matter, so I do. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. And if you're still listening, because it's been like 23 minutes. So thank you for listening if you still are. And I guess I just want to, like, if you're listening and you felt the same way, a bit of a mess or broken, or you've had a similar experience, I guess I just wanted you to know that you're not alone. Yeah. And that God's got you. He's got me. He's got us. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day. I'm going to keep smiling. And keep healing. And perhaps keep recording videos. I like writing, but at the moment I don't have the concentration or the focus or the brain power to do it. So videos is going to be it for the foreseeable future. I don't know, I might like seeing myself on camera so much that I'll do it more. So anyway, okay, I'll stop now. I really will. Thank you for listening. And yeah, have a great one. Bye.